Alright, yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So this story is about how I got swatted. Getting swatted is not fun for anyone, and I doubt getting swatted is a good idea in general. Knowing that so many Twitch streamers and content creators have been swatted recently has been scary insane. For example, Aiden Ross. And even Speed got swatted when he was literally outside. And it reminded me of the time where I got swatted. That is right, I remember I got swatted, and it was literally right after I ended a live stream. But to be honest, I kind of expected it, but at the same time didn't know if it was real. Let me explain. Basically, back when I just started becoming a content creator, I remember I ended up having this major blow up phase thanks to you guys. I blew up on TikTok with going from 90,000 followers to 1.2 million. It was one of the most scariest things in the world, and I remember I was panicking. Knowing that how many people were hearing my voice every day was insane. And don't get me wrong, at first it feels great because obviously blowing up on the internet is like every person's goal nowadays. But when it gets to the point where you know so many eyes are watching, well, you gotta understand, becoming a content creator will lead to haters. And me, well, let's just say I have a ton of haters. Knowing I've lived a crazy life and telling you guys crazy stories that happened in my own life leads to people, well, in disbelief. Which, I mean, fair enough. One day I will do a video proving everyone wrong and me being on top once again. But honestly, this is where things went overboard. I remember one time I was supposed to stream on the day before, and this is when I just moved into a brand new penthouse. I moved into a penthouse right after I blew up because I needed to find a way to spend money to get taxes off my back. And I remember my manager told me, oh, just like move into a penthouse, you know, pay some tax off. And I thought it was a great idea. I remember I moved into the penthouse, and basically it was a wonderful place. It had 5 bedrooms, it was outstanding, and it was really, really comfortable. Obviously though, me living in a penthouse, it wasn't really for me. Anyways, going on with the story though, I remember I ended up making my setup together, setting it up, and then from there, I remember I ended up really enjoying it. Knowing that it's such a nice view and all that cool stuff, I remember I ended up taking photos and posting on the internet saying, look at this view. I even posted it on my Twitter. And then I remember out of nowhere, I ended up getting a reply on Twitter saying, yo, is that your place? I recognize that place. I know where that is. And it was some random person that I didn't know. Now, usually when like a fan or someone that enjoys my content messages me, don't get me wrong. If it's like a simple hey or hello or hey man, like I like your content, I usually reply back saying thank you, and you know, maybe sometimes sending him a selfie of just proving it's me, because sometimes people don't believe it. But this person was really scary. He ended up saying, knowing where I lived, and ended up saying, yo bro, can I come over and hang out? Obviously that was a no-no. Knowing that he just said that out of nowhere was terrifying. So I remember I told him, sorry bro, like I don't know you, it's kind of weird how you came off like that, like I understand you enjoy the content, thank you, but you need to relax. And ended up just basically blocking him on Twitter. By the way, follow me on Twitter if you guys haven't already, because I replied to a lot of people on there. Going on with the story, I remember basically knowing that just happened kind of creeped me out, but I kind of moved on from it. Then anyways, later on throughout the day, I remember I ended up live streaming on Twitch. If you guys don't know, I live stream every day, and basically if you guys go check out Bubba Gaming, the YouTube channel, or search me up on Twitch, Bubba_streams, I'm usually live on there playing video games and telling crazy stories like this one. And basically I remember out of nowhere, my mom texted me saying, Bubba June, I'm gonna be coming over and making you dinner. Are you okay with that? Obviously I'm not gonna say no, because me living in a penthouse by myself gets lonely sometimes, and having my mom come over is really nice. So my mom would come over and she would make me dinner, and I remember I basically got started on my stream. I started streaming Minecraft, telling crazy stories, and told some stories about me and my middle school life. And then from there, out of nowhere, once again, I get a message on Twitter. It was from the same guy, but on a different account saying, yo bro, you better reply to this right now and give me a shout out live on your stream, or I'm gonna swat you. Obviously at first I didn't believe it. I'm like, okay, sure dude, you don't really like know me, like you don't even have the balls to swat me. And this was a time when I thought, you know, people didn't have the balls to do crazy stuff like that. I thought that he would be a genuine person and just, you know, move on from it. So I ended up blocking that account. I kept streaming. I just kept streaming and streaming, having fun. And around the 2-hour mark, I remember my mom knocks on my door saying, Bubba, there's a lot of police cops outside. What's going on? I remember I stood up and I looked out my window, and I instantly ended stream. I ended stream so quick because I knew something was up. Right when I ended stream, I remember I basically ended up turning off my computer, and I told my mom, I want you to leave the building nice and slowly. Don't say what floor you came from. Just leave the building. Don't say anything and just walk out. My mom was saying, why Bubba? Like what's going on? Like why are you doing this? Mom, just listen to me carefully. Just quickly, just go down the elevator, leave the building, and don't turn around until I call you. My mom ends up saying, okay. And she ends up going in the elevator and leaving. And I remember as I was escorting her to the elevator, I remember I heard a bunch of cops in full-on body armor and holding rifles basically going up the stairs. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. So I ended up going in my room, and I basically went on my hands and knees and put my hands behind my head and just waited. I waited because because I knew that they were gonna come to my door. And right as that happened, I remember 10 seconds later with my hand behind my head and me putting my knees on the ground, I was terrified. I heard a knock on my door going, dun, dun, dun. BabaStreams, we know you're in there. I was terrified. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. Hopefully they don't shoot, nothing. Because getting swatted is the most terrifying thing. Because you gotta think, these guys are holding rifles ready to aim at you if you do the wrong move. I sit there, I wait. Instantly from there, they ended up opening my door because I left it unlocked so they would have easy access in so I wouldn't have to break down my door. And then from there, they ended up searching the whole place. And reminder, this penthouse has 5 bedrooms. So they went into every single bedroom, every single bathroom. And all I heard was clear, 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 bathroom clear. And I just kept sitting on my knees, just praying that no one would come in here and shoot me out of nowhere. Then from there, I remember my door ended up opening to my stream room. And she walked in, a cop that was fully in armor saying, found him, found the suspect. Instantly from there, they ended up all coming into the room, all the rifles aiming at me. And I'm just sitting there going, I can explain everything, is what I told them. Right from there, I remember they basically told me to stand up, put my hands behind my back. And basically from there, I ended up getting arrested. I got arrested. I was escorted out of the building. And when I remember my mom was outside waiting for me. And she saw that I was basically getting escorted out of the building with handcuffs on. My mom was panicking. She thought I did something wrong. She thought that I ended up messing up something with this whole YouTube career thing. I ended up getting in the police car. They drove me straight to the station and I explained it all. I said how I got messages from this guy. I ended up telling him how he said he was going to swat me. And basically they ended up showing me the phone call that was originally made about me. Apparently some guy was screaming over their phone that I kidnapped their daughter and held her hostage unless I did the devil's tango with her. And it was ultimately the most disgusting thing I've ever heard because that's the last thing I would do to anyone. So knowing this would happen, I was basically terrified. I told them everything. They understood. I had a lawyer come in with me and also my mom ended up coming to the station with my dad to help out and talk about what happened. The cops apologized and basically said if anyone threatens to swat you again, make sure they inform the police station just so they get ahead of knowing the situation. I obviously said okay, and then from there I basically moved on. I went back to my place. I basically didn't stream for the next couple days because I didn't feel safe yet to stream, and then from there I basically just relaxed. Knowing that that person knew where I lived, I stopped taking photos of my area and taking photos of my nice home that I moved into, and that's why many of you guys haven't seen content of me living in the penthouse. But one thing I will say is that being a content creator is scary and things could get worse. But at the same time, for all those people that love and enjoy these videos, thank you so much for being there. And on top of that, make sure you guys do follow me on Instagram and follow me on all platforms and join my Discord server down below for more crazy stories like this one. Anyways, guys, that is basically it. Like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. All right, peace out, guys.
My name is Baba. I'm still on top of the world. Never taken with your mother. Of course, let's go. Should I make it a story? Let's click record. Got that TikTok with 2 mil hit different with some more. She said she love me, she kept. Should I exit for sure? I got 100K for my life's work, so mama said bravo.